everyone, I am Junlan Jin Amistad and I choose chapter 6 and 8. In chapter 6, I learned that the expectancy table is the two-way table showing the relationship between the two tests. Teachers can use information from one test to help predict the performance level of one another test. That is, they can use an expectancy table that shows predictive validity data. In other words, the expectancy table is the use of graphically present the relationship between the test and the scores and job performance when there is a correlation between the test and the job performance. And the validity evidence, it is divided into three categories. First is the content validity, second is the standard validity, and the third is the structure validity. And the construct validity, it is the way the test validity of a test. It is the use in education, social studies, and psychology. One of the reasons it is so difficult to measure is one of the reasons for its existence. In social science, there is a lot of subjectivity, and the most construct have no real unit of measurement. And reliability and validity are the concepts used to assess the quality of the research. They can indicate how well a method, technique, or test measures something. Reliability relates to the consistency of the measurements, and validity relates to the accuracy of a measurement. If a test measures something very consistently but always measures the wrong structures, the test may be reliable but not valid. Similarly, if the test measures to the correct structures, it may be effective but unreliable, but not inconsistent matter. And in chapter 8, I learned that norm reference, it is the grading students are evaluated in relationship to one another. For example, the top 10% of the students receive an award. The next is 30% of the students receive an award, and etc. This grading system rests on the assumption that the level of the student's performance will not vary much from class to class. A serious problem with norm reference grading is that no matter what the class level of knowledge and ability, and no matter how much they learn, a predictable proportion of the students will receive each grade. Criterion reference grading, it is the measure by the student's performance level, not by another student's. This means that looking at the student's performance today is compared to the student's performance the day before. The problem facing teacher is that it does not allow comparisons of the performance of the students in specific location with the national standards. For example, the school will not be able to compare the grade level of grade 5 in a district, and therefore be unable to measure how a school is performing against the other schools. Should grades reflect absolutely achievement level of achievement relative to other in the same class? This is often referred to as the controversy between norm reference versus criterion reference grading. In norm reference grading system, it is the letter grade of a student receive is based on his or her standing in the class. Should grades reflect achievement only or non-academic components such as attitude, spend, and diligence? This is about grade that the students also based on their characters in the class. Should grades report status, achievement, or amount of growth? This is the one of talking about that the students need to plot their own progress so that they can achieve the grades they want. How can several grades on diverse scales combine to give a single mark? This is talking about the student's grade that has been calculated in total mark as one. And I do agree that all of these questions, in this case, we could analyze or compare how the performance or grades of our students should work. And if we will have the correct answer to this question, we will be able to look strategy on how to grade students accurately and fairly. Also in school, it is the basis that we could define as someone as intelligent, but in real life, if we will see the outside of the box, we could tell that your grades in school doesn't matter, and it does not define your intelligence. For example, Jonah has a bad grade and was not be able to finish school. But look at him now. She billionaire, it is because she might not intelligent in school, but she is intelligent enough to look for another option or create a business that leads to where she is right now. And it is really important for me or for us since I really want to finish my studies. Grades might be only a number, but it could help me to be qualified as a graduate so that I could continue the field that I have been thinking. And also, for me, the purpose of the grading, it is the give back to the students' performance so that it will be their basis or assistant on what improvement they need to achieve. Well, I'm actually not the nerdy type of the studies all the time. But the most memorable thing that happened to me regarding my concern about my grades is that when I have let my classmates copy my answer, and the things is they got a higher grades than I am, which is in fact became so unfair. But at the end of the day, it is still my fault because I allow it to happen. And my understanding about grades is grade, it is the payment of our achievement or performance during school. It is the reason why we know that we need to improve ourselves. And my concern about grades is how the teacher compute it. Just like for example, we have a group activities and some of the members are not helping, but at the end, we all have the same grades. It might sound competitive, but it's really just unfair. At the same time, it becomes my concern that we spend different amount of efforts in doing the workbooks. Some members are not even lending their hands to help, but still they are receiving something that we work hard for. And that's all.